This is adding and testing a newsletter. The newsletter application is housed in the Gadgets area. And by clicking the newsletter application, you're brought to a list of all newsletters that exist within your gadget, as well as a setup link, an edit link, and a delete link for each of those existing newsletters. To create a new newsletter, we're going to go ahead and click Add Newsletter. We're going to title the newsletter. You're going to choose the newsletter style. What this is choosing is the actual design template that is going to be used when sending out that newsletter. This will normally be called Newsletter in the drop-down. Maintain subscribers in. This is asking you which category within the Contact Manager do you want anyone that subscribes to this specific newsletter to be housed in. So I'm going to go ahead and keep our subscribers going into the newsletter category. Email subscriptions to. This is the actual email address that any subscription to this actual newsletter will be going to. Normally this is an info ad or some kind of generic type email. You can add to check this box to include CAPTCHA, which if you do include CAPTCHA, it'll tell you that CAPTCHA can be used to prevent bots from posting spam links into your newsletter sign up. This is usually a good idea if you place the newsletter sign up form on a pretty broad page, meaning a home page or an About Us page. You can actually include that CAPTCHA to prevent spam. Manage subscription form fields. This will actually, go ahead and put a email address before we can get there. Manage subscription form fields allows you to choose what the subscription form for this specific newsletter will look like. You'll see that email is a default field for signing up for the newsletter, but you can also add other fields like, say, first name, and then you choose which portion of the Contact Manager this actual information goes into, and you can choose whether to include it or make it required. I'm going to go ahead and save, and you'll see that our new field has been added to the form. You put in the subject of the actual newsletter, and this will be the subject that shows up in your user's mail client. Text-only version. This is used for people who have a mail client that cannot read HTML-based newsletters. So it would be a good idea if you wanted to go ahead and put in all of the text from your newsletter, just directly copy and paste that text into this text-only version area, and this would allow anyone that cannot read an actual HTML newsletter to be able to read the text of your newsletter. Privacy policy, same thing here. You can actually copy and paste your actual privacy policy into this area, which will allow that to go out to users as well when sending out the newsletter. So I'm going to go ahead and save our newsletter setup, and you'll see that it brings us back to the main listing page with our test newsletter in place. Now that we have it set up, we're going to go ahead and edit our newsletter, which you can think of edit as adding content to the newsletter. This area functions exactly like adding content to a page. So you have the power to create a content article or add a content article that already exists. I'm going to go ahead and create a content article. You would name your content article. Go ahead and click next, and this will bring you to the standard composer, just as you normally do with content. So you can either type in your information or copy and paste it as you normally would, format it how you see fit, and save it. Then by previewing the page, you can actually see what your newsletter looks like. Now in this instance, since it's a newsletter from the Firefly Digital site, you'll see that the template is actually designed to look like our website, which will be the case in your website as well. It's a great idea to go ahead and test this to your email address using the email test function here.